Wasn't together, though.
Definitely not. No. Time now is 10 minutes past 8.
Oh, yeah, today marks the start of another crunch week for Mrs May's Brexit plans.
Today she's going to face a row over what legal advice she received on her EU withdrawal agreement, and then there's a 5-day Commons debate. Let's not forget there's a proposed head-to-head debate on television with the Labour Party's leader, Jeremy Corbyn. That's not been confirmed just yet.
How's it going to pan out for Mrs May? Well, two men in the know join us now. Political journalists Kevin Maguire and Andrew Pearce. Good morning to you, gentlemen.
Morning,
quite a few things I'd like to talk to you about this morning. Let's start with the Attorney-General today. I suppose, Kevin, we'll come to you on this first of all. It's a question really, two sides of it. How much we feel we need to know and whether we need to respect client confidentiality.
Yeah, and what does Theresa May have to hide by not publishing it? Because this isn't any old decision. This is Brexit, momentous decision for the entire country for a long time. Now, I go back to 2003 in Iraq, and Tony Blair wouldn't publish the legal advice then when he was pressed. And the reason was the Attorney General had changed his decision down the line, and there was something to hide. And I say now, if she has nothing to hide, she will publish it.
Andrew?
Well, I mean, what's going to happen is if they don't agree, they're going to be dragged to the bar of the House, forced to do it. It could leak, which is possible because some politicians have seen the entire legal opinion. But the other difficulty is this. Back in 2007, a certain opposition politician called Theresa May wrote to the then Prime Minister Gordon Brown saying, "Oi, publish the legal advice over the Iraq war." So it could look like double standards for the Prime Minister.
Could look like it is.
And the other thing is, if you look at the front page of the Daily Telegraph today, even Ollie Robbins, who's her chief Brexit Sherpa, doesn't like the idea of this backstop, which he suggests we may never be able to leave. And that's why MPs want to see the legal advice.
And so much for the sovereignty of Parliament and taking back control. MPs over the road vote to see the full legal advice. In Downing Street, I'm not going to show you. Come on, Theresa, you can't get away with that.
Andrew, what about the issue of Chris Mason was standing where you were a few minutes ago and he was talking about saying, slightly with his tongue in his cheek, that he had more chance of winning the world's strongest man than Theresa May did of getting this deal through Parliament next week. How much of an uphill struggle is the next few days going to be?
He's got a better chance of being the world's strongest man than me and him. Have you seen the state of us? And we've just had a very unhealthy cooked breakfast, which I had to pay for, of course. But I do not think she is going to get this through in any shape or form. I think they've probably worked this out in Downing Street. What they're now working out is about the scale of the defeat, if they can keep it in a low level of numbers. But when you've got people like Joe Johnson on one side and Bill Cash on the other side of the Tory argument, it's going to be very difficult. I still think she'll be back very quickly with a second proposal, maybe a plan B, which will have much more chance. But this plan, I can't see that she's going to win this vote.
Kevin?
Oh, can you imagine MPs having a second vote, but no second vote for the people, for the players in a referendum?
Not that
you
one
think
again.
one's all right and not the other one? Come on, pull up. But no, it is impossible to see how she will win a week tomorrow in that place. Not least because people like Sam Giamar, the universities minister, people are resigning still. She should be getting their support. And I think Chris Mason down the gym could be a fantastic breakfast TV series. But I'm not sure he's going to be very muscle-bound very quickly. And equally, I think Theresa May looks incredibly feeble.
But he's going on about a people's vote. Why does he call it a people's vote? What he means, Kevin Maguire, is a second referendum, because people like Maguire still refuse to accept the people have spoken, 17.4 million. There's no great clamour for a second referendum, not least with his own Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn.
The only people
at least
afraid
not this week, not
of the
this
democracy
week.
of another referendum
We've had a referendum.
People, extremists, who won the last one with lies, fibs and porkies.
That's
the only people who should be frightened of democracy.
Well, do you argue like this over your cooked breakfast as well, Andrew? Are you best friends over breakfast?
No, we didn't speak.
The
only time he spoke was when he said, "Will you get the bill?"
Right.
That was it.
The sausage made more sense than him.
One more question about this TV debate, which might, I see you laughing already, might take place this Sunday, could be potentially a clash with I'm a Celebrity. I suppose more importantly, who should be involved in that debate, Kevin, and where is it going to take place?
Yeah, I do think if a TV debate can't be organised, what chance of a decent Brexit? I can see the argument for May and Corbyn, but I also understand the argument from people who want a harder Brexit and those who want another referendum and Remain supporters wanting to be involved too. But I think let's just get May and Corbyn sorted out first and have an undercard. You know, lots of other programmes if people want to listen on TV, on radio, online. I'm all for these debates, but it is pretty pitiful. And what's happened, of course, is Downing Street have proposed the debate and they want it exactly on their terms. That ain't how it works. You have to have a negotiation on the format, when it is, which channel, who's going to do the questioning and so on. You cannot have dictatorship from number 10 Downing Street, and that's what they're attempting to do.
And there was the point. Downing Street proposed the debate, not Jeremy Corbyn's Labour Party, because Jeremy Corbyn changes his mind on Brexit every other week. It's the Tories who the government proposed on the BBC. What's wrong with having it on the national broadcaster? What is Jeremy Corbyn frightened of?
Look, Theresa May chickened out at the last election. David Cameron chickened out.
Not the last election.
3 years ago.
It's not the last election.
If I was
Kevin,
Labour, I
I
would demand that you have to have a commitment from the Conservatives. There will always be TV debates at elections. I'm all for this debate. I want more debates, but you know that your lot just want it on their terms and a one-off, and it's because she is desperate.
As I said, Theresa May proposed it, and Jeremy Corbyn is trailing in her wake on this one. I think it should happen, even though we've got 5 days of debate in the Commons too.
She's like on a long Bush took a trial in there, and she's losing.
I'm not sure you agree on the rights and wrongs of a second referendum. I think you need a second breakfast this morning, the pair of you. So go away and enjoy yourselves.
Good to talk to you.
Lovely to see you, Andrew and Kevin. They're always good value. And that is a debate that many people are having watching this week as well. And it's another one of those crucial weeks, isn't it, where there's so many big decisions to be made, so many big topics to be discussed, and whether this debate will take place on Sunday, who knows at the moment, and where it will take place.
Indeed, yes. Just to keep you up to date, Theresa May has said she's open to a television debate on the BBC. Jeremy Corbyn has indicated that he would prefer it to be on ITV. There is no agreement as yet as to whether or not this debate will take place on Sunday evening.
And you were talking to Vince Cable earlier on the programme, and the point they were making about second referendum, and he was making the case of, well, what's the question going to be? And
yes.
yeah,
how many?
Yeah.
Could be? So much to talk about. Chris Mason will keep us up to date, of course, throughout the morning. 17 minutes past 8. Should we get some clarity?